going on, everybody? Garden of Barchuckin, back at it. Down here in Virginia at my brother's. He has a bunch of trees that we're going to plant. He has 2 apple, 2 pear, and 2 peach. And I'm going to show you what we're doing to get them in the ground. Here's his apple tree. When I was down just a couple weeks ago, it actually didn't have any leaves on it yet. But now everything's starting to wake up. Down here, he's actually in zone 8A. So his last frost, I believe, is tomorrow, the 10th. Or last chance for frost. Here's our apple tree that we're planting. We dug the hole yesterday, and we dug it so it's twice the size. So the hole is actually too big. We wanted it twice the size of the pot, but we're going to have to bring the level up so the base, so that the bottom of the soil is level with the height of the ground. Okay. So we've added soil back to his hole. So now the level of the ground is going to be at the level of the bottom of the tree. It has some wood chips on top. We don't want them in the hole. We added some sand to the hole so we can get the level even with the ground that he has. We also don't want to add any real compost or other amendments to the soil. You want the plant to be growing in the soil, the native soil. If you add too much to the soil, what's going to happen is the roots are not going to seek out nutrients and water. They're just going to basically stay almost like when it was in this, pot. But now you have it in a hole. So you don't want to add anything to it. You want to let the roots and the tree seek and find its water and its nutrients. What we're going to do now is backfill the hole and move on to the next tree. Yeah. I know the more I'm looking at it, we probably should have put a tarp or something. I can get the little rake or something. Okay, so first tree was the pink lady. It's in the hole. This is a honey crisp. Getting it in there. I'm trying to make sure that the roots, I'm starting to tease them a little bit so they start coming out, so they can start seeking that nutrients and the water. We're also adding a little fruit tree fertilizer to the top. As time goes on and it rains, that will help to water it in and filter through the sandy soil. that facing the way you want it to?
Yeah.
Ooh, Moonglow. Sand spur. We'll have to figure out the dates when you need to fertilize and spray. And then I can go ahead and come down, we can do it. So, well, I guess good teaching moment. The other reason why I left this on is to see where the bottom of the tree is and to make sure that we don't cover that all the way up. Okay. Final pear tree of the day. Is that facing the way you want it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Looks pretty good. Good. Oh. Start, yeah, to the back side. Okay, so we have the 6 trees planted in the yard now. It was a fun project. We lucked out by digging the holes last night. We're going to go ahead and now add water to it, to the soil. We added the fertilizer up top. So for watering in the trees, we're using a 2-gallon watering can and watering in that fertilizer, and then also getting enough water to help the roots and the sand to settle all together. Okay, after we added the water to all these trees, if you can see it, with it being sandy, it just sucks right in, and the top's just kind of looking like blah. So we have some of his compost, we have some peat moss, and a little bit of topsoil. We mixed it up with a little water, and we're just going to top this. So hopefully the topsoil and the peat moss, they'll hold a little bit of moisture for the top of the plant. We're just going to add a little bit to everybody. So now we're securing the apple, peach, and pear trees with some wood. We were actually able to go by his true value down the road, and we got these for free, which was awesome. And then we have some old ratchet straps that I have from Harbor Freight. I'm going to cut the end off and then tie and secure the trees with that. And basically another free item. So I don't have a good post, way to get the post secured. So what we're doing is we're tapping in some rebar, wiggling to make the hole, and then we're going to add the wood to it to secure the tree. So I'm making sure that this wood is down deep enough. At his true value, we could have purchased basically like a tomato stake, which it was only about 1 inch by 1 inch. It was very flimsy. These are actually braces that they use to secure pallets. went with the old one-handed slam. So now I'm basically cutting off this ratchet strap part. Ho ho ho, we got some thunder coming. And I'm just making them so they're even. So I put this side together, around. Then what we'll do, tie 2 knots, double knot, then we'll feed it through, and that will secure it to the tree. I'm not making this, I don't want to make it super tight, so I want a little give that the tree's going to wiggle, and that's going to allow the roots to get stronger, but it's enough that if a big gust came, it's going to help and support the tree. Same thing. I don't want it super tight. I want it to be able to move a little bit. Thank God we're almost done. So each one of his fence panels is 8 feet. So we planted the one, and then 1, 2, 3, so 24 feet away is the next apple tree. Same thing, we planted, and then 1, 2, 3 is a peach tree. Then we have our next peach tree. Then we have our pear. And then finally his last pear. Before we planted, we did a little research and found that pear and apple trees can actually cross-pollinate with each other. So we wanted to have a little buffer of the peach trees, and there's 24 feet on this side and 24 feet on this side, and then the peach are 24 feet away. So really there's 72 feet from that apple tree to this pear tree. So just to give a little buffer, so hopefully we don't have any weird cross-pollination between the pear and the apple trees. Well, thank you all for coming along, watching this. If you guys have any fruit trees and you have any good tips, drop them in the comment section down below, so my brother, I can let him know that they're on there, so he can check out any ways to fertilize or prune. That would be greatly appreciated. Everybody have a great day. Well, I'm glad we finished up when we did. Tucker, I'm gonna need you out of the way, bud.